The Can Environment Week idea came to us last year when, as I mentioned, that the Can completed 200 years of its existence. So we focused at two issues. One is that to talk to my customer's customer and tell them that how we are going to position a metal can in terms of that the package which they are buying or the product which they are buying in a metal can is totally recyclable and environment friendly. That's one thing which is very, very critical in this. Second is then the other leg of this Can Environment Week was to look at the rack pickers who we feel are very important in the whole recycling wheel. I mean, they are the cog in the wheel, as we call it. So we then went through an NGO, Chintan and Exnora. These are the two NGOs we decided because they were working with the rack pickers.
Okay.
So we went to them, and along with them, taking their help, we went to the rack pickers and saw their conditions, and then we organized health camps, we provided health insurance, we did painting competition
that's
with their
really
children.
wonderful because
So a lot of things we did to motivate them, to encourage them, and also then we gave them a vocational training to their children so that they can learn something else also rather than just depending on just live a life of a rag picker.
Yeah, that's really wonderful because every time I see the neighborhood Kuda wala or Kabadi wala, you just think, who's looking out for him. But having said that, running a business is about cold hard numbers. You want to take a look at what really works for you in terms of dynamics and really the reusability and the cost factor. How does metal place itself there, especially in terms of tin cans?
Well, cans are by and large more expensive than other packaging delivery formats, especially true of the alcohol beverage industry. But because of the reasons that I told you in terms of the premium look and feel, the mobility, the portability, the flexibility of packaging design graphics, shelf life, genuine product perceptions amongst consumers, there is a natural gravitation of consumers towards cans. In fact, we have certain products in our portfolio that are doing extremely well after they've been launched in the can format. And in many cases, the cans are the leading packaging delivery formats for those product SKUs.
So though they're more expensive, you're saying you actually get better margins?
Well, they're more expensive for us. And the attempt is actually to price them to give desired value to the consumer so that for us, it is a question of getting more by investing more. So more from the consumer by way of satisfaction, genuine product experience, by investing in an upgraded premium packaging delivery format.
Right.
In fact, today cans contribute to about 10% of our volumes, and over the next 3 years, we're looking at pushing this to about 25%, close to a quarter of our volumes. 3 years from now, aspirationally would come out of cans across our entire product portfolio.
But do you see the recycling sort of side of the story becoming more efficient, and in that sense perhaps costs becoming lower? This is just especially for me as an end consumer over the time frame you mentioned.
Well, over a period of time, relative to other packaging formats, the costs will hopefully start coming down. I mean, 10 years ago, when you looked at cans, let's say in the soft drink industry versus bottles, then the packaging differential was significantly larger than it is today. As volumes go up, that is another, you would have economies of scale.
Right.
And as, technology, and in terms of the reusability, recyclability that we're discussing, gets more effective and on a bigger scale, I'm sure end consumer benefits to the consumer would be more than possible to pass on.
Let's talk a little bit in terms of really how how you read the Indian consumer vis-a-vis, say, consumers that you're catering to across the world, and in terms of how ready is the Indian consumer to really try on these various newer forms of packaging that you're talking about, how receptive he or she is, because is price a big one in their mind? And secondly, in terms of global practices, as companies, do you think India is at par in terms of the practices that it's following, across the whole life cycle of the packaging industry, right from the start, when you're delivering the product to actually recycling it?
I'll answer the first question first. In terms of Indian consumers, I think are increasingly getting more savvy. Yes, price is a key determinant. However, larger than price, it's the value equation that the consumer derives. So the same lady who will not pay more than 2 rupees extra for a kilo of sugar has no hesitation in buying a lipstick that costs 1,000 rupees.
Right.
So it's the value that one ascribes to what one is getting. So the cost per se is just one determinant. They're handcrafted Bali's leather shoes selling in South Extension at 20,000 rupees a pair, and that particular shop sells out one pair a day. So obviously there are people who believe that that is worth that value. So it's really value that drives the Indian consumer, which is really the price equation at which I believe that this price or this product is worth that price. So it's more that is driving it.
Right.
As far as Indian companies being on par with global companies are concerned, I would say that we've made a good beginning. We obviously have some distance to travel, but it's much better now than it was earlier on. Partly it is discipline brought on by the corporate sector themselves, partly, as Bhavik was saying, in terms of policy legislation that is coming, and more importantly in terms of the legacy that we want to leave for our future generations. It is inevitable. At our organization we do a lot around our breweries in terms of other initiatives, but specific to this, we are completely with Sanjay and his point on the rag pickers, because that is the primary mode of collection for some of our other packaging delivery formats as well. So yes, I mean, India has made a big start, but obviously there is some way to go.
Right.
May I add one thing? There's a lot of need for policies over here. I mentioned the rag pickers and so on, they would play a role, but that alone I don't think is going to be enough.
Right.
And particularly, it's not just the metal, but the other materials, packaging materials too, that has to be dealt with. What is one of the approaches or one of the ways that needs to be taken into account and utilized is to look at different alternatives, right? I mean, packaging, as I mentioned earlier, they have a positive side, but there is a negative side too. There needs to be a proper scientifically based systematic view that needs to be taken to this, do what is basically an environmental life cycle analysis.
We've touched on various points, but we're talking about the future of the packaging industry. What, according to you, Sanjay, is going to be the game changer as far as this industry is concerned, or that you are waiting for, where when you talk about that 5 years from now picture, we're going to be looking at a completely different scenario?
You see, in metal packaging, what we look at is, let's say, when the modern retail comes, I think a lot of opening, a lot of boost will be given to the metal packaging industry. Similarly, when the food processing, when it goes up to 20%, it's a game changer. Like Samar mentioned that in beverage, in beer, if they are looking at from 10% and taking it to 25%. So these are the game changers. When my customers start investing in the filling lines, can filling lines, my food processor starts investing in those processing, and government enables that to help them to grow. I mean, in terms of, they are already doing in terms of food park and other things which is being done. So these are the game changers for metal packaging industry. And also finally, the availability of the raw materials locally. I mean, if let's say I have to make an aluminum can, today we have to import aluminum. Even for the beverage, steel beverage can, we have to import steel because it's not available in country.
Right.
And there are producers who are looking at it. You see, Samar talked about the cost coming down. One of the reasons of cost coming down, apart from, because they earlier used to import, ours is the first company to invest in the beverage can making line in India and supply cans to them. So that brings down the cost, and also it's just in time delivery. I think a lot of logistics and a lot of supply chain benefits come to my consumer, and these are the game changers according to me. And also finally, promoting metal can as the environment friendly through what campaign we are doing is the Can Environment Week. I think this is what we will keep on doing and work with NGO for upliftment of the life of rag pickers.
Samar, I want to get your thoughts. We are looking at realities of business being turned upside down in today's world. So for you as a company and looking forward within the industry, do you look at more sort of backward integration in order to keep the cost element under control? How do you look at the way technology is likely to change? What are the aspects that you're looking at?
Well, I think there are broad macro indicators. There are certain societal changes that are happening that will only increase the processed food business in the country. Number one, increasing urbanization. Number two, both husbands and wives working. And I'm very fond of saying that in the old days, money was the most important commodity. Today it is time that is the most important commodity. Increasingly, husbands and wives are working. Increasingly, domestic help is at a shortage. Increasingly, you have no time to cook. Having said that, a large part of India still cooks and eats fresh food every day, unlike Western economies. Right. But that's changing. If you were to look at a certain cross-section of upmarket, affluent, well-educated, young consumers across the length and breadth of metros and tier 1 and tier 2 towns in India, the packaged food or the processed food penetration is significantly higher today than it used to be, because it lends itself to standardization, it lends itself to quality control, it lends itself to convenience, etc. And there's familiarity, so consumers, can sort of pick up a particular pack, they're guaranteed of quality, etc.
Packaging is still not at par at, say, the same product that you get here. If you were to pick it up, say, off the shelf in the US, the same brand, the packaging will be completely different and the presentation will be completely different. Would you agree?
I would agree that India has a long way to go in, I think we are almost there as far as the tamper-proof or tamper-evident nature of the packaging is concerned. I think where we lag is in the convenience of usage. So if anyone has tried to struggle with ketchup sachets or butter sachets, etc., at airport lounges or at restaurants, etc., I mean, someone please explain to me how to sort of utilize them. I think the happy balance that we need to meet is ensure protection of the product, yet extremely convenient usage that even a child can use the product or the pack. I think the second part is where India is still lagging behind, because in our enthusiasm and effort to protect, we have not yet explored the next facet, which is the ease of convenience of usage.
I think that's a point we'll all agree on. We're all nodding vigorously. Yes. But the final word has to be from an environmental perspective, because, I mean, our kids are growing up. That's the message, hopefully, that they are going to get. From the environment perspective, you've heard both sides of the story. We're talking about the future. What does it look like to you?
Well, I mean, I'm guardedly optimistic that from an environmental point of view too, not just from a packaging angle, but broadly speaking, we will make the right decisions and we will do the right things. Clearly, education has to play a huge role in here at all levels, not just schools, but also, colleges, higher education, and even what I would say K through grey, so kindergarten through the time you're grey and beyond. Right. There needs to be continuous learning throughout, and that is very, very important. In addition to that, I also believe that industry groups, the government, consumers, all of us are stakeholders as far as the environment is concerned. So we need to, consumers need to maintain pressure in a way on the other entities and make the decisions that are environmentally aware. Right. Industry groups need to, come together, do the kind of studies, do the kinds of analysis that is needed. Government also needs to come up with the right kinds of regulations, and we shouldn't just blindly, assume that just because some item, a car doesn't have any emissions from its tailpipe because it runs on electricity, it is somehow greener. That is not at all necessary. Reality is quite much more complicated than that.
And we hope you'll keep educating us about that.
So that's right, and that is something that we all of us need to work on.
Clearly, packaging is not something, as I said at the start of the show, that we think a whole lot about, but you can see companies are thinking a whole lot about it, and it makes a huge connect with the environment. So we hope that it's been a learning for you, and you've got some important takeaways. Thanks so much for joining us, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this show. With that, it's the end of this special show, Metal, the Future of the Packaging Industry.